Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, salam. Welcome everybody to MACFEST 2026, to a very, very special event, Muslim Diaspora Archives event. It's part of the initiative that MACFEST has launched earlier this year. And if you're watching this event today and you feel emotional for some reason, or you would like to share your memories, you can put them in the chat for us. And if you are watching the recording and you would like to reach out to MACFEST to let us know how it made you feel or what it brought up for you, do reach out via email. We would like to connect with our audience. We would like to know what you think and how you feel. Our host for today is the one and only Lulu, Luliet Halimi, a presenter, producer, and media professional with experience across live events, digital media, television, and radio. She has hosted and contributed to a wide range of productions and community-focused events with a passion for storytelling, impactful conversation, and audience engagement. She's known for her confident presence, authentic style, and her incredible energy, insight, and connection to every platform she speaks on and the people that she's talking to. And she's also the best person to host this event, probably because she also came to the UK at some point. So over to you, Lulu.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from all around the world. It's my pleasure to be the host today. Thank you for the lovely introduction, Kathy. You are amazing yourself as well. And also all the panelists and my guests that will be talking today are as well amazing people with amazing backgrounds. I would like to say welcome to everyone who has joined us, our participants. Welcome to Muslim Diaspora Archives, stories and journeys that we will be sharing today. We are very, very delighted to have you all with us as we will explore today histories, memories, experiences that shaped Muslim diaspora communities across not only generations, but also geographics. So through the storytelling that we will have today and also the reflection, we will consider how journeys, identities, and archives help preserve the lived experience. Everything today is based on real story, as Kathy as well mentioned herself. I came as a student in the UK, so I'm also someone coming from abroad. So I have my own experiences and a journey in the UK as well that hopefully, inshallah, we will discover together with our guests as well. I'm very, very pleased today to be joined by two wonderful guests, which is Nilüfer Siddiqui and Mr. Nasrullah, and also our special guest, Yusuf Mrabti. Nilüfer and Nasrullah, they will bring their own unique perspectives, experiences, and insights to these conversations, and we will be very grateful to have them sharing their own stories with us. So without without losing time, I will go first to say Assalamu alaikum to our guest Nasrullah Moghal. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for sharing everything, your experience and your journey with us. I would love for yourself to introduce a little bit yourself, just shortly with our participants. So because I know we will go through everything together through our conversation, but just to start, and then I would love Kathy to play a very short video, which is like a promo that we as a team have prepared to give you an idea of what is his story. Nasrullah, all over to you.
My name is Nasrullah Moghal. Although I was born in Pakistan, but I was brought up in Kenya. In my schooling, I after completing the schooling, I went to Pakistan again for a couple of years. But then I decided to come to the UK for studies. So I was here as a student. And after studying, graduating from the University of Manchester, I decided to work. And I worked in the gas industry and also in the computer industry. Um, while doing that, I got very much involved in the trade union movement and also in politics. And in my politics, I represented one of the local wards in Manchester City Council, and I held the portfolio of equalities while I was at the City Council. So I've spent most of my life in Manchester. It is my city. This is my country.
Lulu, you're
Also,
muted.
yes. Oh, okay. So I was just thanking Nasrullah for his introduction, and I know there is so much more to learn about his life, which we will go through step by step. I would love to, Kathy, play the promo that we have prepared for Nasrullah, and then introduce Nilüfer as well. If we can just play the first video for everyone, what to expect when it comes to the story that Nasrullah will share with us today. Let's just take a few more seconds. Yes, we can see the video. Amazing.
My name is Nasrullah Khan Moghal. This year I'm 78 years old. Was born in Pakistan, but I was raised in Kenya. So it was 1966. I got a one-way ticket on the plane to actually come from Pakistan to London. I graduated from the University of Manchester in aeronautical engineering. So I did a lot of work. For 4 years I worked in the gas industry. Then I was looking for other opportunities. I settled in Manchester, and once I settled, I decided to get involved in the community affairs and so on. I think my wish for the future generations is that they become good citizens, responsible citizens, and look after the rights of other people. And if they do that, they are good Muslims, they are good citizens, and they are good human beings. First and foremost, you need to be a good human being. Everything comes later.
Amazing. Thank you, Kati, for playing the video. It's very interesting, Nasrullah, your story. We will go through everything. I have so many questions for yourself. But first, let's also have a very quick introduction from yourself, Nilüfer Siddiqui. Thank you so much for joining us today. I would love to know a little bit from yourself about your story shortly, and then we will play your own video as well. Nilüfer, you are muted. If you can unmute yourself, please, and tell our guests a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Shall I tell you now?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
like
okay.
shortly.
Yeah, okay. I came here as a wife. In a sense, my husband studied here. Then he went back to India. He got married and he had a accident. His leg came between conveyor and hopper. They were going to nearly amputate his leg, but his consultant in India said, "You come here." So when he came here, my two brothers were already here. So they did look after him. And after 6 months, I came. At that time, I was a student of social work. So I have to complete my final year. So I couldn't come with him, but I came here after 1 year. And then I joined him, and he was still unwell, but I thought that what else I can do. He was in hospital. I'm here, so I have joined the Manchester University to do the course in social work.
And what is your current role now, Nilüfer? Like, what do you do now?
Wow, now I'm retired in some ways, but before that, I was a social worker as well as I was a politician. I was a counselor for nearly 35 years. So they have made me now alderman. Still,
Amazing.
I'm active in politics. I was a magistrate as well, but I resigned a day before my terms of office was going to finish because because of the two incidences which hurt me so much. There was a one and which affected emotionally. So I said I can't take it. So I resigned from the magistracy, but I was a magistrate for at least 20 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
Mm.
Amazing, Nilüfer. I'm sure we have a lot more to discover when it comes to your story. I'm sure you have a lot much more to share with us. I'd love to play the promo that we have prepared for Nilüfer, Kathy, please, and then we'll go step by step.
My name is Nelofer Siddiqui. I come from India. I'm an Indian Muslim.
Your first Eid in the UK. How was that different? What was your experience like?
That was we were very sad. And I don't know, there is a one thing which if you want to translate in English, you do that.
Yes. What is it?
What is
What's
that?
the word?
हमारी शाम गुर्बत पे भी दो आंसू बहा लेना ये ईद सुबह यार ने वतन तुम्हें मुबारक हो.
Oh. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we finish?
Create a society where people are equal. Nobody can, I agree. People argue with me, say, how can everybody be equal? I say that's equal means it's not that equal. Opportunity should be given. People should be, and choice should be there. And we should love to each other rather than hate.
Absolutely. What Nilüfer said is very true. We as Muslims, we should love each other, and we as Muslims would push for diversity and equality because we are all God's servants and God has created all of us like this to be different, and this is the beauty of life, to be born in different countries, to speak different languages, to have different culture, to eat different food, to look differently. Imagine if we lived in a world that would be all of us same, would be very boring, nothing to share, everyone would be the same. So I love the fact that pushing for diversity and equality is what we should grab as a start in our conversation. Myself, as I'm originally from Albania, and I know very well, and I have a lot of friends as well who haven't born in the UK. They have a different background. They've came from abroad in different ages. Someone very young, someone in like middle age, someone old, because of different circumstances. And based on what Nilüfer said, equality, they managed to live very happy within the community. And to be honest, everyone has a very difficult start, but whoever wants to achieve what they want to achieve and grab the opportunity that God gives them, I don't think there will be any. Obviously, the challenges will be there, but there will not be any blocking. I would love to know from both of you, because this is an open conversation, and I would love everyone who is participating today to drop their questions. Why we'll go with the flow, and ask Nilüfer and Nasrullah as well, in terms of anything that they want to know from their life. Both of them are very experienced, very successful, so they have a lot to share with us. But I would love to know, Nasrullah, from yourself, how old were you when you came in the UK, and why exactly UK? Why did you choose this country?
Well, I think I was about 16, 17 when I came here. Can't remember the dates now because we don't usually celebrate our birthdays. So really, so we
Yeah.
don't know. I was from Kenya when I finished my secondary school education, which was the O levels. I went to Pakistan. The idea was to study there, but I did not like the system over there. I then started looking for different institutions. Because I came from Kenya, which was a colony of the UK, I was able to come to Britain quite easily. And I found a place in three different colleges to do A levels. One was in Halifax, another one was in St. Leonard's on Sea, and the third one was in Loughborough. For some reason, I chose Loughborough. So I came to do my A levels in Loughborough. So I came as a student. The idea was to gain education because that is the fundamental principle on which our whole family was actually working on. That you get education. Once you get education, it broadens your minds, and then you're able to play a better role in society than
Mhm.
just if you're not educated. So that's the
Mhm.
reason why I came to the UK.
Was it difficult for yourself to adapt? Because you mentioned the fact that you studied the gas industry. Was it easy for yourself to adapt in this industry when you came in the UK? Or you had to start over everything? Because usually what happens nowadays, obviously the UK has changed a lot. In 1966 was very different. They start as a waiter, they have a degree back home, like for example they may be teachers, doctors, but when
Yes.
they come abroad, they don't find that exactly opportunity. So how was this experience for yourself?
But remember in Kenya, Kenya was a colony of the UK, which meant we were taught just like you are being taught in the UK. And many of us knew a lot more about the United Kingdom than the local people over here. So there was not a problem to adapt into the life over here. I was able to do that quite easily. The only challenge was money. You had to have the money to actually exist. And so I did 1 year of A levels, and then I applied to university. At that point, the government of the day decided to triple the fees of overseas students. So instead of paying whatever you had to pay for 1 year, you had to pay for 3 years the fee in 1 year. So myself and students like me were really facing a challenge of how to exist with limited resources because we came with a like funding for 3 years and most of that went away in 1 year. So we had to do some other small pieces of work to exist. For example, we had to make a decision whether you wanted to send a letter home to your family or have a cup of coffee. So the two cost the same. So we really had to struggle with that. And also, we did not have the variety of food which is available nowadays. So you have to eat fish and chips every day, every day. I can tell you, eat fish and chips for over a week, you get fed up with it. But we had to do that for months and months and months. So really, those are the challenges. Um, but you got to overcome those challenges because the idea was to get education. And so we were told, put your head down, do the work hard, and achieve something. So that is what drove me as well to to do my education I finished my A levels, and then I went to University of Manchester, graduated here, and then I started working, and I worked in the gas industry. After a while, I wanted to change, so I joined the computer industry. So I came to Manchester because they were big company making large computers. So I was involved in that. Um, but I was also involved in local affairs in my trade union movement. I was a shop steward in my trade union movement, then into politics. And that is how I got involved in the local affairs as well, community affairs, politics. The advantage in politics was I was able, because I held the portfolio of equalities in Manchester, I was able to work with other local authorities in the UK. And I ended up chairing the equalities group of the Association of Metropolitan Authorities, which meant I had to go to London nearly every month, at least once or twice, to attend meetings in London. I also got our city involved in Eurocities network, which meant that I was able to participate in European cities like Paris and Frankfurt, Berlin, places like that. So it gave me an opportunity to go to those places and talk about how we do politics in the UK. So I was able to project the way we actually do bring people together and work with different statutory organizations, particularly police and local authorities. And we were able to project that in the European Union.
That's so amazing from a very young guy who just comes to study with dreams and eating just fish and chips, ending up in his dream career and then changing it and exploring into the politics as well and trying to also take decisions for the young generation, next generation. It's very, very interesting. That's why I always say, don't give up. You never know what life brings in. I would also would love to know from Nilüfer. Nilüfer, you mentioned the fact that you came in the UK as the wife, like get married to someone. Like this is the story. How old were you when you came in the UK, and what was your first impression when you came? Obviously, you
Well,
had a husband waiting for you, or
yeah,
how was the experience?
main curiosity was how British people manage to rule the whole world. What were the reasons? So when I came here, I did see, and because my husband has been here for 7 or 8 years, he went back and he came back. So he used to tell me there the women and men are almost equal, and therefore, and the society is very fair. So when I came here and I went on the bus first time, and a driver said, "Hello, love, come here, sit down on this side." So I got shocked, saying to me, "Hello, love." That was that thing was. Otherwise, I found the people were more sympathetic. I didn't more sympathetic and kind as well, and I adjusted. I didn't have the only the difficulty I have in adjustment, that was a food, because I said I decided I will not have a non-halal meat. So I stopped taking the meat. Meat was a thing. I was I mean, how can I say that? I wanted to eat meat and I didn't eat meat. As people have said, that fish and chips. So I used to eat fish and chips a lot. And I thought that fish is good for your brain. But when I went to buy fish from a from an English shop, so they were frying the sausages as well. So that stopped me going to eat fish because pork sausages were also there. So these are the things which we have a little bit difficulty. I had a
Yes.
little bit difficulty, and I wasn't a good cook. I'm still not a good cook. I don't believe in cooking. My slogan is I can't cook and won't cook either. So,
Nilufer, yeah. Sorry,
but
yeah.
in that respect, my husband was, and my brother, he was also good cook. So they used to cook, and I will clean the house. And so,
So you would live with your husband and your brother together, and then what changed after? Like, how did you? Obviously, there was a moment when your husband became. You said that he was sick, then he started feeling better. Then how did you adapt yourself within the community?
then
How
what
did you
happened?
start it?
Yeah. He went to the university to do, because he had a basic degree from Queen's University of Belfast. He went to the Manchester University to do MSc. And then I decided to do the course in social work. And therefore I went to the university. At that time, fees wasn't very high. It was only 80 pounds. So I mean we were able to manage that thing.
Nilüfer, would you say that when you compare UK back then and the UK now, would you say that it was much more easier in terms of like adapting into the community, and also it was much more easier back then when it comes to like financial, like you would be more able to proceed with your dreams and with the things that you would love to do, or it's the same but with different challenges?
No, I think adapting was very good, because there are a lot of restrictions for women, especially Muslim women, and thank God my husband was liberated, so and I didn't have any problem in adopting. Only problem I had in the adoption was food food and going on the buses. That was a problem for me. Or sometimes buying things which I didn't like it personally.
Mm-hmm.
So, but later on, I started adopting, and I enjoyed the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the freedom which we had here. I enjoyed the choice. I enjoyed you can say or you can do whatever you think is good. You don't have to go and ask your father or ask your grandfather. So these are the freedom which I liked very much.
Would it be something, Nasrullah, like maybe a story or something that is stuck in your mind that was very, very challenging on your first step in the UK? Same for you, Nilofer, as well. Like when you first came in the UK, I know everyone goes through different paths, but there are moments that they stuck with us forever. Like, would there be like something that you have in your mind that you could share, and sometimes that puts you down or also motivates you or inspires you to like move on?
Yeah, quite a few things. First
I
of
think
all, accent was very challenging for me, because their accent, in the beginning, I had a difficulty in understanding. Second thing is going to the shops, because I didn't drive, and doing shopping and coming back home. Third thing is that about the food, because I wasn't used to for English food. So I mean, how long I mean, eating beans on toast, fish and chips, and mashed potatoes were they were tasty, but I didn't enjoy. Let's put it in this way.
Yeah.
And housework as well, because I always have a people at home, servants who used to, I shouldn't be saying it, or helpers. They used to do the house, and that was difficult. And cold weather.
Yeah, definitely.
Cold weather,
I agree
definitely.
with that.
Because when I was wearing the boots, I used to have a chilblain because the boots inside sole has a fur in it, and you take your fur, you go out, come back, and then I used to have a chilblain a lot.
What about yourself, Nasrullah? What would you say?
I think, I had an interesting welcome in the UK when I came in. I had a friend in London, so I stayed a couple of days with him. But then I went to Loughborough. Uh, the college had actually organized accommodation for me with an elderly couple from Poland. They were actually taking in overseas students. So I was with them along with four or five other people, one from Sierra Leone, one from India, one from um, again from Africa. Uh, and we were living together with as paying guests. So that was a good experience, really, to seeing that there was an elderly Polish couple. The Polish man, he had served in the Second World War, um, just as my father had served in the Second World War, but in North Africa. So there was if you like, an affinity between me and the Polish couple. So I stayed with them for a year, which was a very good experience. Um, I learned few words of Polish uh, because the landlady did not speak English. So we had to learn some words of Polish to ask for water or coffee or tea, which was good. But that was an early experience. Um, After that, when I moved to Manchester, it was really uh, looking for a place on my own, which I did, uh, which wasn't very bad. But the challenge was only the financial one. The government had tripled the tuition fees, and so that was the big challenge. How do you survive on a limited financial resource?
But
Um, but apart from that, I think I enjoyed living here. It was a good experience.
yeah,
Definitely. To be honest, it's everyone has their own experiences, but I would love to share like a short one for me. I came as a student in the UK, in London, and I remember my first day that I went to university. Back in Albania, I used to have my own car. I wouldn't drive. I would drive. I wouldn't go in a bus or take the train. So I know that people who are taking the bus would pay, like they would have cash money to pay when they go inside. So I took the bus in the UK, and when I entered, I gave him the money to the driver, and he saw me like in a very weird way, and he said to me like, you have to tap. And I said to him, to tap what? Like I didn't know what. And he then taught me. He said to me, you have to buy these Oyster cards to go and fill in with money, and then you have to tap. Like we don't get like cash. So this was a very weird and very, it's funny at the same time, but made me feel very because I came alone. I didn't had any friends. I didn't have anyone to teach me how to like to go and take the bus. Like everything was very like I was alone. It was very funny, and at the same time I felt like shy and shameful because I didn't know, not having the knowledge apparently. I have a question that came from our participants. For both of you, maybe Nasrullah, you can go the first. Wahid Arshad is asking, how do you think those challenges that you have been through and the things like prejudice and racism have changed for new and second, third gen immigrants today? Is it worse or
and you can support them? But that is the way you actually do that. But I'm not going anywhere.
Nasrullah, do you think that the younger generation's experience identity is differently from the previous generation? Do you think that the young generation now wouldn't face the same, especially in like communities that are like very big, large in number?
Actually, my experience is that many of the young people, they do not identify themselves as, like we would say, Asian or Caribbean or African. They define themselves as British, and they want to be treated as equal citizens in Britain. So really, most of them, they don't have that background like we had. So really, in that sense, they are better placed to create a better society for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nilüfer, and what would you say that would be the main values that especially the young generation that is now needs to hold in their shoulders to actually pursue to protect also their own identity from their own parents as well?
Well, I think majority of the young second and third generation, they think they are English. They don't believe in where they have come from, and rightly so. They say to me, my birth certificate, I'm born in Manchester. Why I should think about India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh? Why I think I will go to Karachi? Why I think I will go to Delhi? I will not go. We live here, and some of them young people have said to me when they went there, they saw the society was very divided. There is very little equality.
And Nilüfer, for the young generation and different people who want to come into the UK, obviously we are talking about the ones that are born in the UK, but there are also a very, very large of students, people who probably have their kids in the UK and they have to come to stay because they are old or they want to spend time with their own grandchildren. What would be a message that you would give to these people, especially to the young generation, like in terms of opportunities, in terms of chasing their dreams, in terms of protecting their identity? What would be like like a general message that you would give? Same for you as Nasrullah as well.
My general message is stay in the country, think you are loyal to your country, and learn good points of the country and try to adopt the good qualities of the country. But having said that, there are some bad points which you ignore it. And for example, look after your elderly parents as good as possible rather than sending them to the care homes. This is my way, and still I say, look after your young parents, elderly parents, and as much as you can do that.
Nasrullah, what about yourself? What would be a message that you would give?
You know, when I was involved in the European Union Migrants Forum based in Brussels, one of the campaigns was run by the European Youth Network that was called All Different, All Equal. I don't know whether you saw that in Eastern Europe or not, but that was a campaign run throughout Europe, not just European Union, but across Europe for young people, all different, all equal. And I think that is something which perhaps it needs to be done again. That was a very well received campaign all across Europe. I think what my message to young people is to get involved in the institutions which we have in the UK
Yeah.
and make your mark known. I've known some people have done that. I know one or two people who work in the intelligence services who actually been made themselves available to actually serve the nation. So you need to do that. Do the best you can, but also look for what you can do for for the society, for the nation itself. And I think that is the sign of good citizenship, good human beings,
Yeah.
that you are actually working in a society which is very, very tolerant.
Yeah.
Why do you think people want to come to the UK? From all over the world, they want to come here because there is freedom here. People are free. You can do various things over here. Um, and that is why I I put great value on that, and
Yeah.
I want our young people to understand that.
Now, and I think we should try to promote unity in diversity. That if we will follow, if we will, if we will push for that, if this will be our slogan, people will understand that first we are first human being, then we are different.
And I would also would love to ask about if you can mention three main values that you can never change or lose whenever you go in the world. What would be three main values that people should keep them very strong? And because obviously people go and travel abroad in depending on their career, but obviously they may change because of tradition, because of like, especially when they are young, they may go with the flow with their friends. What would you say? Obviously you have like a very long career, very experienced people with lots of values, amazing families. What would you say as an advice to the young generation and to other people, three main values that they should never lose whenever they go, whatever they do?
For that, I will say, if we develop, if we tell the children and create a sort of a universal consciousness, then people more, uh, will be more, learn how to live in harmony rather than in fights. So this is very important that we say we should have a universal consciousness. We should promote what you want. Pardon?
Yeah, yeah, I am hearing you.
Yeah, I think it is not possible. It is not possible. But if we continue to work towards that, towards the universal consciousness, then what will happen? Tortures, fights will be less. Only
Yeah.
we can minimize. We cannot totally eradicate these things. But after all, we are a human being.
Nasrullah, yourself, what would you say?
I think if you're asking for 3 points, one is you need to know who you are and be proud of that. Your own identity is very, very important. You're a human being, and you carry an individuality which you should value. Secondly, I will quote what J.F. Kennedy said. He said, "Don't ask what America can do for you. Ask what you can do for America." I think this is what I would say. That the question you should ask is, what can I do for the rest of society, and especially the people living around me? What can I do for that? Third one is we need to have a bigger picture. I'll give you an example where the American president went to the Space Center in Cape Canaveral in Florida, and he saw the first person he met was a sweeper. He was sweeping the floor. So he asked him, What are you doing? What's your profession here?" Instead of saying, "I'm a sweeper," he said, "I am making my contribution to putting an American on the moon." So that was his big picture. I think we need to get our people to understand that. They need to
Yeah.
have the bigger picture where we are going as a humanity as a whole. But yes, you need to develop your own nation where we live, and we have to give 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a question to end up all the conversation, but before I go there, I would very quickly, because we are running out of time as well, ask. I have a question from Wahid again. He's asking, do you think within a generation or two that connection between those born here but with a foreign heritage and knowing their background will become mostly lost? Are there examples of those communities you see in the UK now? Particularly language as one example. Nasrullah,
I
what do
think
you think?
I think the society is moving at a very great pace. The speed is too much. People will lose contact with where they came from. I mean, I myself, my forefathers came from Pakistan, but if they go back 500 years before that, they came from Central Asia. We've got no links at all. I think even now, young people are going to lose links with the land of their parents. Um, but should not be a negative thing. It should be because they need to spend time and develop the place they're living in. I think that's what I believe in.
Absolutely. Nilofer,
Yeah.
what would you tell to your younger self when you think about Nilofer 30, 40 years ago? What would you say?
What would I say?
What would you say to yourself, to your younger self?
Myself. Oh, probably.
If you were about to speak to your younger self, what would you say to Nilofer?
Well, I would say that I should have been, I should have been more cautious about few things. I should have been more outgoing. I should have taken a more, uh, given a more respect to the people, to have nots. I should have taken a more interest in have nots rather than who have p- plenty to do. These things I would have done it more.
And what
The
about
other
yourself?
thing which I have, uh, uh, I should have done it. I should have, I would say, command the English language, because I used to say this. I was always revolutionary. So I used to say, why should I learn somebody else's language? And that was wrong.
Absolutely. And what about yourself, Nasrullah?
I've forgotten what was the question.
What would you say to your younger self if you were talking to that young boy,
Yeah,
16, Nasrullah, that came in the UK
I,
alone?
I would say do your research, find out what you want to do, and you must have the determination and the drive to follow your dreams. You may not achieve what you actually want, but you can always get nearer that. It could be something different, but you can always follow your dream.
Absolutely. That's amazing to end up our conversation today. I don't know how the time flight. It's been almost 1 hour and a half in this beautiful conversation that we are having. SubhanAllah, it was my luck to talk and learn from both of you, very experienced, I don't know, parents, teachers that you all actually I learned a lot from you. And I would say just a short line before I pass to Kathy, to everyone who is listening. Obviously, I'm very young. I'm full of dreams. Sometimes I give up as well. Life is very difficult. It's becoming even more difficult for our generation. We have more ease in like physical stuff, like we can travel more. We don't need to wash our like our clothes with our hands because we have a washing machine, etc. But in fact, what we hold as a new generation in our shoulders is much more heavy. But as Nasrullah said, and Nullifer as well, there is nothing that can stop you following your dreams. Maybe you may not achieve what you are dreaming for, but it can be better. What you will achieve can be better than what you thought. And actually, it's all about the journey. It's not only about the destination. Sometimes the journey is very, very important. So never give up on your dreams. And also don't forget about your culture, your traditions. And yeah, stick to that. This is what I would say. Thank you so much, Nilofer and Nasrullah. I don't know if there is anything to say before I end up this panel. Yeah, Nilofer, I think.
Thank you. I want to thank
Thank
you
you
really
very
for
much.
hosting this. It was
Thank you very
fantastic.
much for having us.
Let me, okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Lulu. That was absolutely amazing. In particular, our two amazing guests. Thank you so much for sharing your lives, your ideas, your human wisdom. And there were so many bits I was laughing behind the scene. I was in stitches that time. Absolutely amazing session. We really are honored to have hosted you. And Laljita, you did a marvelous job in keeping the conversation going, letting it flowing, asking them more and more, and we learned so much. And of course, Katarzyna, my darling, our tech host, she's done a marvelous job all by herself today. Well done, all of you.
Kaisra, before I let you go, what would you say to your younger self?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, no! Don't put me on the spot.
Just something very little.
I don't know. Just enjoy life and spend as much time as you can with your loved ones. That's basically it. So I'll hand back to Katarzyna, but before that, I want to thank sincerely our wonderful attendees who've joined us or wherever they are for giving us their evening with us. Okay, Assalamu alaikum and barakatuhu, and back to you, Katarzyna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Nilofer. Thank you. I
Thank
think
you.
Nasrullah had something to say before. Nasrullah, you had something to say? You were
Well,
saying.
we can say a lot of things, but I think this is really concluded quite nicely. The only thing is to do good things for people, you need to have the resources to do that. And I think that's very important.
Yeah.
But even if you don't have the resources, you should always make the noise. The noise is important. People need to hear you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nasrullah. Thank you, Nilofer. Thank you to
Thank you.
Yusuf,
Thank
who
you.
joined us as well as
Thank you
our
for
guest.
having us. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. All
Bye
back
bye
to
then.
you, Kathy, and thank you to all participants. And yeah, enjoy life more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for fantastic hosting, Lulu. Thank you, Nilofer and Nasrullah. Dziękuję.
Okay. Are you going to close now?
I'm going to close. Before I close, I just want to remind all Muslim based in the UK, Muslim artists, that you still have 2 days to submit your artworks to Muslim Arts Awards. And all those who are watching us, you might want to join us this Thursday at 6 o'clock in the evening UK time for a creative session where Ala, our team member, is going to show you what you could do with the items that you really love and would like to keep, but you maybe not have used for it anymore. And then Saturday, 2 o'clock UK time, we've got food and fashion in Fez, model city of sustainability. On Sunday, we've got Muslim converts events about their lives and their stories. And really warm thank you again to Yusuf and to Manchester Histories, because Manchester Histories have been partnering with MACFEST for years now. So thank you again.